Okay, hello everyone. Thanks Bala and Madhu for having us here. We were really eager to be part of the session, and thanks for adjusting the time so that we could manage from the India time zone as well. So today's session is on sustainable customer experience and how Sitecore is actually building up these digital experiences in an eco-friendly manner. We are also going to talk about sustainability, what all kind of solutions we have here, and then we will also try to, give a demo around it and show you some of the use cases that can be built around it. So before we start the session, so here I have Anurag along with me who will be presenting as part of the session. So he's working as a lead consultant at Infosys, having roughly about 14 years of experience. He's a Sitecore technical architect, certified on Sitecore. And he's also currently exploring a lot of AI models for CMS migrations, and maybe some bits and pieces he's going to share today as part of this session. I am two-time Sitecore MVP, having almost 12 years of experience in the IT industry. My role is more of a functional role from the Sitecore perspective, driving pre-sales, having alliance relationships and partner relationships. But I usually, also I'm keen, so I go ahead and do some technical stuff as well, and hence I'm also certified on Sitecore XP and XM Cloud. But majorly, my work goes towards the functional side of it as a BA or as a project manager. So today's agenda, we'll be covering sustainable customer experience, how Sitecore is actually enabling sustainable digital marketing. Then we will cover what are the functional aspects to it and what are the technical aspects to it. And then how AI is driving this entire sustainability and how Sitecore is playing a role in this sustainability. And then we have a small demo to showcase what we are actually going to talk in the upcoming slides. And then if you have any questions, you can let us know. We can also pause in between and make it interactive as much as possible. So starting with sustainability. So before we enter into sustainable experiences, it is important to understand what is sustainability. So making things, environmentally, ethically, and socially responsible so that we are, having a long-term goal and bringing in long-term value to the business. So that is why, sustainable customer experience becomes essential so that we are not only, providing and delivering experience right today in the market, but also looking for long-term perspective and businesses to grow later on and to sustain for a longer duration. So what are the key elements for this sustainable customer experience? So basically, it's bringing in the brand alignment for the customers, for the clients that we are working on, bringing in inclusivity and accessibility. Nowadays, clients are looking forward to WCAG compliances, AA standards, AAA standards. So following them and bringing in inclusivity for all, building in an architecture which is more flexible and scalable, easily understandable to the team, and then it is also, helping to build a solution which is able to provide a higher page performance, a better SEO, better improvement to the customer experience, driving experience and loyalty, building in personalization, campaign management, and then also having eco-conscious interactions. And the most important thing nowadays is to have the multi-channel delivery, because people are there sometimes logging in through their laptops, sometimes they're on their tabs, sometimes they're on their mobile phones. So it's all the time, people are consuming content from different channels. So how we can bring that similar customer experience to the users on all the different channels. So this is basic on the sustainable CX. But then, how is Sitecore driving this sustainability? That is what we will now discuss further. So, as a digital customer engagement is continuing, so is the environment footprint. And because the environment footprint is growing, so Sitecore is also addressing these challenges by enabling the sustainable digital marketing. And what are the key areas that Sitecore is considering for sustainability? It's building a smart architecture, driving efficient content strategies, focusing more on taxonomy management and management of the assets through their digital asset management solution, bringing in personalization capabilities and launching their SaaS product, which is there for the personalization perspective, and then delivering omni-channel experience through all of these products that they have in the market. So that is how, Sitecore is driving the entire sustainability. Just to go deeper down into these discussions and to see how Sitecore is enabling digital marketing experiences and bringing in sustainability. So through the SaaS platform and the products that they have launched as part of the SaaS system ecosystem, so it is bringing more towards a sustainable market because we are reducing on the infrastructure cost. We are paying as per use. So we don't have to maintain the entire infrastructure as an on-prem service. It is totally on cloud. So that helps to bring in reduction in the infrastructure cost and increase the sustainability and just pay as per your use. Then reducing the hosting complexities and the cost by bringing in SaaS. So all of these products, XM Cloud, CDP, Personalized Content Hub, are created on the SaaS-based version. So this is helping us to drive the sustainability and reduce any maintenance of the servers, of the infrastructure. It is helping to increase the campaign conversions because of the SaaS model that we have come up with. Previously, we had to manage the entire upgrades on the XP. Now, that is not the case. Any updates that will come on the system will automatically be updated on the XM Cloud or the other SaaS platforms. So we are almost, saving for the client around 200 to 300K, which happens almost in 2 to 3 years, where people go in for the upgraded versions to improve the security, to enhance the system. So all of those things are now covered because of this SaaS-based platform. And this in turn is also impacting the sustainability and driving long-term goals. So this is more from the generic standpoint, but then to cover more from the functional perspective. What are the functionalities or the key considerations that Sitecore is taking to, enhance the sustainability in the market? So the first one is composable DXP approach. So here we are, utilizing the headless architecture. So most of the platforms that we had earlier and the XP solution as well was built on MVC. And now there's a switch more towards the headless approach to bring in more improvements in the page performance, to bring faster time to market and streamline the entire marketing operations, where your content is only being managed within the CMS platform and the entire user experience is built on the Next.js, React.js kind of applications. So that is the composable DXP approach, which has been adopted by Sitecore. The next one is bringing in the AI-powered personalization. So basically, marketers personalize the content based on how the users behave, what are their preferences, divide them into segments, divide them based on the demographics. So AI and machine learning integrations basically help the marketers to automate the entire personalization experience, bringing in real-time personalization for the users. So based on their browsing data, based on the things that they are looking on the website, on their history, on their likes, dislikes, all of this creates a real-time personalization, which is powered by AI to deliver these kinds of experience to the user. Then omni-channel, I think we already discussed how we are managing content across different touch points for the efficient personalization and campaigning capabilities. Now, we are also bringing sustainability from the digital asset management capabilities from the Content Hub. So it helps to, manage the assets. It cuts down the content duplication. So there are a lot of times that, multiple images are saved in the system. So cutting down on the duplicate content from the system, which helps to enhance the production effort. And then managing the entire assets in a central repository so that they could be reused, the version control could be easily managed, and there is a better governance for the assets. So that is how Content Hub is playing an important role in bringing in sustainability in the market. The next one is data-driven decision making. So basically managing the entire traffic spikes within the system, how we can manage the entire performance of the system, how we can scale up and scale down, and then monitor the entire system using the CDP platform, and then target the actual customers and bringing in the agility into the entire system. So these are some of the functional aspects which we usually see and are being taken into consideration by Sitecore when it comes into sustainability as a solution goal for the IT stream. So that is more from the functional perspective. We and then I've just put in a slide to talk about conventional and headless approach, and how conventional was more from the traditional way of working, which is completely tightly coupled MVC rendering that we used to see, but now the shift has moved towards headless. Even I see clients who are on XP are also moving towards utilizing headless as a solution than going ahead with MVC, because it is more loosely coupled, and then it helps to render the solutions in a more easier way, bringing your front end to be hosted on Vercel with Next.js, React.js kind of front end technologies, and having your content at the back end to be managed by Sitecore. Any questions before I move to the technical aspects?
Nothing so far.
I
I think. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Amber. I thought
I was just going to say, I think one of our challenges is trying to do this while not having everything, not having a Sitecore product for everything, having existing systems for our DAM and for personalization and things like that, where we're trying to go in this direction, but it's not
Okay.
it's not quite as straightforward because it's not all in Sitecore.
Definitely. Yeah. I think you would require a proper discovery or an assessment phase to shortlist which product would best suit in your architecture landscape, and whether all the products of Sitecore would be required, or it's like more of a combination of different products that will work for you. So maybe I'll just give you an example. We worked for one of the clients in Canada, and they were having Sitecore XP version 9, and they were planning to move towards a headless architecture. It was reaching end of life. So they were confused whether to go ahead with, XP 10.4 or to switch to XM Cloud as an option. So there was a deep analysis assessment phase that happened, and finally they moved to XM Cloud, and they were having search stack as part of their XP solution. So then we did an analysis. We came to know that search stack will not be working well with XM Cloud, and therefore we proposed Sitecore Search, we proposed Covio, we proposed Search Stack Studio. So all those three options were considered, and then an assessment happened. And then finally, because Search Stack was already in the mix, and upgrading it to Search Stack Studio, which would effectively work well with XM Cloud as an option, was considered, and then that is how successfully we implemented the solution. So it's like we have to do a mix and match of the Sitecore products, maybe with some other platforms, or see if all the Sitecore products fit in together would actually create the best possible solution for a client or not.
That makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. So I'll move towards the technical perspective. So in the technical perspective, it is more from the cloud native infrastructure standpoint. So basically, the hosting on the energy platforms such as Azure, AWS, all of that supports auto scaling. So you can scale up, you can scale down. So it actually reduces your idle service server usage. So supposing there's a peak during holiday season, or there's a peak during Christmas Eve for one of the shopping sites. So you can manage your entire scalability of the system by either scaling up or scaling down as per the requirements. And that is how you pay per use and build a efficient, sustainable cloud infrastructure for your clients. The other is serverless edge delivery. So leveraging edge renderings and then serverless functions also help to reduce the load and to improve the performance of the entire system. Then efficient APIs and now using webhooks so that you have the data available at real time itself. So that helps to, reduce the backend resource consumption because the webhooks will already have this data to be rendered, and hence you will not have to, spend a lot of detailing on the backend and get the inputs there itself and then render it to the system. So building those efficient integrations using webhooks is another option, and it is widely being used as part of the XM Cloud solution. Then performance and sustainability. So bringing in sustainability, checking regularly whether your system, your sites are performing well or not. And then bringing in Lighthouse into the mix, which will actually monitor the page performance, will check the best practices are being used or not, the SEO compliances, what is the efficiency, how much percentage SEO is met. So all of those things are, should be checked by for any of the clients or the websites that have been implemented to check what is the sustainability and performance of that site. And then these tools can also be integrated with the CI/CD pipeline to monitor and improve the web sustainability. The last one is dynamic media optimization. So basically, automatically resizing and converting these images so that it reduces the amount of data transfer that is happening across the web. So that is another feature which is used within Sitecore to drive efficiency and sustainability. So this is what I wanted to cover from the functional and the technical perspective, and how Sitecore is bringing in sustainability into the market. Now I will hand it over to Anurag, who will, walk you through how we can, actually demonstrate this and how AI is also playing a role in the entire sustainability and how it can be used along with Sitecore. Over to you, Anurag.
Yeah, thanks, Akshi, to cover all these parts. So now I'm just going to share my screen.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Mhm. Okay, let me know once it's visible.
Yeah, we should
Yeah.
be able to see it.
Yeah, thanks. So now into the demo part, I'm going to cover like how we can achieve the sustainability to using the XM Cloud, and after that I will leverage how we can make more effective using the AI with the Sitecore XM Cloud. Okay. So here when we are talking about the sustainability, so it's mainly our point out thing is that how we can utilization of the resources which we are getting from the Sitecore, and how we can make it cost effective, how we can make it like a scaling way, or how we can make it overall computation power will be how we can reduce it. Okay, how we can reduce the size of the storage. And so this is our key point when we are talking about the sustainability. Okay. So first thing is that here we have two ways to do that. Okay, first is like we whenever we starting the web development, so we want to be make it in a smart way. Okay, using the Sitecore XM Cloud. Okay, and we want to be whatever features provided by Sitecore, we want to be make it as an effective way so that we can reduce the energy, cut the energy use, low carbon emissions, and use the resources efficiently. And another, after that, when we need to be optimize our performance. Okay, so earlier we seen that like whenever we don't have a solution of the Sitecore XM Cloud, so what we are doing, we are creating the components, and we have behind the in backend we have to write the lot of code to render our content. So now our focus into technical aspect, how we can reduce the size of code. Okay, how we can reduce our computations, okay, cost and everything. Okay, so here with the Sitecore XM Cloud, we are using the Next.js. So it's like it's provide a static site generation. Okay, where we are and also Sitecore XM Cloud, next Sitecore XM Cloud, we are just improving the scalability and auto scaling, efficient scaling, avoids over provisioning and lower idle compute power waste. Okay, and also we have our main role is the assets, because whenever we are just talking about the migration, or whenever we are talking about we are moving side one platform to the another platform, so we have a main size of the Sitecore assets. Okay, like all the our documents and images and everything. Okay, and image is also playing a main role, because we need to optimize the image, we need to resizing the image and everything. Okay, so I will start in that point. So first I will start how we'll start the our web development. Okay, so first I'm just showing like this is the our Sitecore XM Cloud, and when we select it, and we need to be create one page. Okay, so into the page we are talking about the components. Okay, so I'm just adding one component. Then I'm just adding one our reusable component. Okay, so just going into that and just adding, and then I'm just adding the our data source. So into the data source we have it's not selected. One second. Okay, so I added this component. Okay, and then I'm just so in our development, whenever we just adding any of the component. Okay, so here we are getting the JSON response. So it could be XML, it could be any format. So I'm just taking the example of the JSON response. Okay, so inside the JSON response, actually what we are doing, so whenever we get the JSON response, it could be into the bulk data. Okay, and we need to be optimize this response, and we need to be select a couple of the fields which we want to be render into the our page. Okay, so uh, so what we are doing earlier, we have bulk of response where we creating the lot of model classes and a lot of writing the business logic. Then we are able to get the exact data, and we are moving to the render. So here we are actually, and whenever you're writing the bulk of code, any external library like JavaScripts and everything, so we need to be main challenge is we need to be optimize the performance. Okay, and we want every time we need to be we need to be reduce our code. Okay, so here if I go to there, okay, and I saw the code. So what into the next.js, what earlier we are writing into the .NET because Sitecore is a .NET supported language, okay. But in XM Cloud we had next.js. So into the earlier you can see that I saw that some I written some our fields or whatever I required that, and then I just into the props. This is props where we are getting all this our required fields data, and we are getting the JSON response. Okay. So here into that our challenge is that how we can optimize that. Okay. So here we are achieving sustainability because we are avoiding to JavaScript code because we are using the next.js. We are using the reusable component. Okay. So which we can reuse in each of the pages. We have reduced the code size because here we are not using .NET, we are using next.js. Okay. And we are getting the our JSON response. Okay. So here we are achieving the sustainability, but it's not a satisfactory. Okay. So into this case, okay, we are moving to the AI. Okay. So what AI does here? Okay. So AI actually reduce the content waste through the intelligent insights. Okay. So you can see that we can use some AI tool in currently provided by the Sitecore, which we can reuse that, and we can whatever contents we require, exactly what content required from our source CMS, we will get that. Okay. And also into the content migration. So content migration from the legacy system to the cloud. Okay. So Sitecore provides some of the AI migration accelerator tool where we can use that and we get the exact content. Okay. So what exactly we are doing over there? We have some extract, we are transforming our data, whatever fields we required, and then AI come into the picture. So we are just into the deployment model and whatever technique we are using. Okay, from that we are just hitting the prompts and we are getting the exact data. So earlier we are for doing all this job, what we are doing, we are writing the model classes, we are really, writing the get setter methods. Then after that we are work on our view files. Okay, then into the view files we use all this our you just know that class mappers and everything, we are using that, and then we are getting the exact data what we want to be rendered. But we reduce all this code using the AI. So here this is a very good example how we are achieving the sustainability. We are reducing our code size, we are effectively utilization of our resources. Okay. And the next point is like hyper personalization. So personalization also we are getting the whenever using the personalization, hyper personalization. So hyper personalization, we are getting the real time data, how the customer behaves and what product he are liking. So we are getting the really we are getting the real time data. Okay. So that is called the recommendation. Okay. So AI recommended it. AI just analyzes the real-time data and he recommended, okay, this product is very much like by the all the users. So you can go for that. Okay. So we can see that Netflix, Amazon, all are using this kind of personalized data. Okay. And chatbots also, the conversation chatbots. So whatever questions and whatever things you are writing, so based on that, you are answering that. So into the AI, we have some kind of pattern where we have some roles are there, some messages are there. So based on a question, AI identify that and giving the answer, and it is provided by 24 by 7 customer support. And next is a sentimental analysis. So sentimental analysis, it AI analyzes all the social media reviews, feedback, and he will create one exact data what customer feels that, and based on that that is a responding. Okay, so that is currently it is available in market, but we can leverage all this thing into according to our requirement. Okay, so I will tell you. Suppose we know that we have some AI deployment models are available in market. Like if I'm talking about the Azure DevOps, we have available GPT-4, GPT 3.5, GPT-4o, that kind of models are available. Okay, so what we are doing, we are just optimizing our deployment and models and train according to our extracted data. Okay, earlier I showed you how we are getting the JSON response using Next XM Cloud and Next.js. So when we receive this JSON data into the chunks, maybe it could be more than lakhs, more than uh, millions characters are there. Okay, but we don't require all this JSON data from the legacy system which we are extracted. Okay, we need only required data which we want to be rendered, which we want to be present to the end user. Okay, so first what we will do it, we will extract this data, we'll transform it using the prompt, what fields we required, and we train our API model. AI model. Okay, so it could be the many ways to do that, like machine learning is available, LLM models are available, RAG, retrieval augmented generative things are available. So where we are indexing, we're vectorizing all our data, and then we are train our model according to that way. Okay, and then once we train that model, then we will deploy this model. Okay, into the our Azure DevOps or any DevOps tool. And then once we deploy it, then we'll use this model and we just write the prompt. Okay, so write the prompt. We are writing that like you are a expert, and then I want this templates with these fields. Okay, then it will return only those fields. So here I can see that we are avoiding to writing the model like we writing a glass mapper and everything, all the classes. We are just train our model with our data, legacy system data, and then we are retrieving our recommendation. We are just getting all this data which we required, and we are load to the our destination. Okay, maybe it's XM cloud. Okay, so here what we are trying, we are reducing the model size and complexity. We are saving our cost, and we are optimizing data storage, because here we don't need to worry about the storage. It's AI did for us. And then here we are training our AI model with our extracted data. So here we are just computation power, we are saving that, energy we are saving that. Okay, so now I will show you. So here you can see that those kind of models are available. Like it's a list of models are available. So we will need to select our model. We have add our training data here. Okay, we set our base model and whatever methods we want to be used. Okay, it's a list of methods available. Here we need to add training data. In here also there are many ways to do that. Okay, so currently I'm just showing that as per our whatever I did, that like fine tune the model, and then we are deploying. So training the model and fine tune the model, that is a same thing. Okay, then here, so here I'm just showing one way to how we can train the data. So you can see that our model inputs like text and label. Okay, and then we are just, this is one JSON string, this is a sample JSON string which I'm hard coded there. Then I just deserialize the JSON input, because we need to be check if it's a valid JSON or not, which we are receiving from our legacy system. Then there are some methods available where I can create a data view. So it's like a data view where I can see what fields I required to train our model. Here I created one pipeline which is suggested by the ML, where I can pass our all these whatever fields are mapping and everything. There are one fit method where I can pass this our data view which I prepared that, and then I will save it to our my model. So this is all are hard coded in programmatically, but it will be vary for our requirement. As I said that LLM model also available into the Azure, where we can upload the files, and also RAG also available over there. So RAG also we are providing the training to the our extracted data. So next thing is that here like the capabilities. So when I am talking about the capabilities, so here suppose I selected some model like GPT 3.5 or GPT 4. So if it's not supported, some of the models supported into that manual, because manually we can upload our data and train it, fine tune it and deploy it. But some of the models are not supported programmatically, because you nowadays you can see that Python script, whenever we are just go use the AI programmatically, so most of the things are supported programmatically. Python script they are supported, they are not supported the .NET. So before started implementation, we need to be check that according to our requirement, what model are supporting programmatically and in what language. Okay, so in our Sitecore GPT-4o, it's supported. They have some chat completion supported are there. Okay, so that we can select it. Okay, and then we can start the implementation accordingly. Okay, and also sometimes use JSON. We are mostly working on the JSON, but sometimes some destination, if I'm talking about some other site code, so sometimes we require to load the JSON, sometimes it is required in other formats. So also we need to be create a prompt accordingly, so like whenever you see the JSON input, and we can convert into the whatever formats they are required to load the our data. So when I'm talking about this loading the data, so I'm talking about the CMS migration, because sometimes legacy system to XM cloud, sometimes we are moving from XP to XM. So okay, so based on our requirement, we need to be check like what models and what things are supported to our destination CMS. Okay. So that is all about from my end. Any questions?
We did not see anything in the
Hello.
chat. Any other questions? Yeah, Amber, go ahead.
This is maybe too high level of a question, but one thing kind of in the thinking about sustainability and leveraging AI to make the coding process simpler, faster, more straightforward, however, how does the testing process have to change with that difference in approach? What do you recommend for testing these different AI tools to make sure you're getting what you want consistently, even though you might not always get, for example, the personalized content might not always suggest the same thing. What does testing look like in this scenario that you've shared?
Okay, correct. Actually, I feel that because sometimes AI hallucination, because AI response most of the time is not consistent. I saw that. Okay, and so for the testing perspective, there are two kinds of testing. I saw that sometimes uh, 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 security testing, performance testing. So I'm talking about in that way. Like suppose whenever we are sending our data to the any deployment mode or anything, so they worry about that because it's is this open network, is our data safe or not? But no, it is safe because we are selecting deployment model according to our requirement, and we are training only our data. Okay, so he knows about only our data. It's not about any other person cannot touch that. And on testing purpose, we of course whatever fields we are getting and whatever things we are getting. Okay, so like performance and everything, it will be uh, it will be depend on our requirements. Okay, so just what kind of testing we are performing? So mainly in our AI case, we are mainly doing the security and the performance testing for that.
Okay. How about in terms of like the resulting functionality or yeah, I'm sure there could be more to talk about, but as far as functionality goes, how would you approach testing when you're leveraging these AI models to support that functionality?
So, Amber, I think from the sustainability standpoint, maybe we'll have to see how testing can be maintained through sustainability. But definitely, we have seen that testing can be enhanced using AI. So, for some of our projects, we've used GitHub Copilot, where we have given prompts, and based on that, we have created the test case scenarios and build those test cases. Similarly, we have used the OpenAI tools for helping us in creation of the test cases. So one is the creation of unit test cases using the GitHub Copilot. The other part is creation of the test cases which we have to actually run and test from the coding perspective. So I think those are the two areas where we have utilized AI in the past and brought in efficiency into the system. But from sustainability standpoint, I think we'll also have to explore more and check how, testing, we can use AI and bring in that sustainability.
Correct, Sasi. And another point is that, yeah, so whenever we are, of course, whenever using the AI, so we need to be connect with the OpenAI endpoints and all this AI search and everything control we did. So in respective, we are preparing some new test cases, okay, using some N substitute XUnit framework. And for testing, of course, whatever deployment model we created and whatever deployment model we train with our data, okay, so we can testers can write test cases where can create different kind of prompt and test our data. Like suppose they created one prompt and they write just like I want this template along with these components with content. Okay, so they write some prompts and then test our deployment model. Is it giving the accurate answer or not? So that's way we can proceed for testing and we can write the test cases accordingly, because mostly whatever deployment model we trained that, so it should be return the correct data at the time of the retrieval. Okay, so if we are getting the correct data,
Yeah.
of course we will render it correctly.
Gotcha. Thank you both.
Thank you, Amber. Any other questions you have?
Nothing else for me at this point. Thank you. I appreciate the presentation and thinking about leveraging these different tools in light of sustainability. That's not something, I think about cost reduction a lot and avoiding developer burnout and complexity for our Sitecore users and things like that. But it's nice to have like another kind of avenue for the different benefits that could be realized for the business.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, sure.
Totally agree with you.
I don't have any questions, but it's a great presentation. This is a new perspective, and with demo, you
Thank
both
you,
have
Shakshi
killed
and
it.
Anurag.
Yeah, thanks
Thanks,
Madhu.
Madhu. Thanks, Bala.
Thank you everyone for joining. We'll see you in the next month meetup.